Welcome back to English Einsteins. I've helped many students increase their grades significantly as a teacher and tutor. I'm a GCSE examiner, so I know exactly what is needed for your exams. Make sure you watch the end to see my top tip for language paper 2. On that note, let's start with the question 5 mark scheme. I've marked the most important criteria that will make your writing stand out. For the first one, register means the correct way of writing, i.e., have you set it out like an article or a leaflet like you were asked to? Matched to the audience means have you been formal if it's addressed to a head teacher, or more light-hearted if it's addressed to other students? Vocabulary goes without saying. Use words from literature here in persuasive writing. For example, tyrannical, misanthropic, duplicitous. Linguistic devices. You have to construct your own similes, metaphors, personification. Also, wide range of punctuation. So we will incorporate colons and semicolons in this video. This is the question we will look at. Social media should be banned for those under 18. Write an article for a newspaper in which you argue your point of view on this topic. Firstly, you need to plan your point of view. This is the structure I coach my students to use. As you can see, it spells EPIC with 3 I's. E stands for establish the audience, P picture this, I imagine, I for information, I for remember a time when, and C for conclusion. We'll go through each of these subheadings now. Firstly, you need to show that you know your audience. Who is reading your article? Where are they sitting? What might be distracting them? What questions related to the topic might be going through their mind? So answer those questions now. And then you put this information in. So as you sit on your comfortable leather chair, scrolling through TikTok, there's probably one question racing through your overstimulated mind. Is this doing me any good? So a question like that that's relevant to the topic. Then this is a quick way to get semicolons in. Semicolons separate main clauses. You're going to use this to show how strongly you feel about the topic. It is a disgrace. It is a scandal. It is an outrage that children as young as 3 are hooked on social media. Okay, so semicolon between each one of those main clauses. This is the paragraph as a whole for establish your audience when you put it together. So as you sit there scrolling through TikTok, there's probably one question racing through your overstimulated mind. Is this doing me any good? To that I say it's unquestionably a disgrace. It's undoubtedly an outrage. It is indisputably a scandal that 3-year-olds are hooked on social media. Something along those lines. You're establishing your audience. Picture this paragraph. This is where you describe what the worst outcome is if your opinion isn't achieved. Children following negative role models, for example. You can give specific role models that you know of that you think are negative. For example, Andrew Tate's misogyny. You could say bullying is exacerbated, made worse, trolling, suicide, a lack of sleep and education because of social media. This is how you stand out, though, by using a metaphor, in my opinion. Maybe you could say social media is a villain stealing children's innocence away. Picture this as a quick way to get a colon in as you are introducing something. You describe the worst outcome now. So picture this, a dystopian world full of perpetual misery. That's how you start off. Here are lots of key words you can use for your picture this dystopian image that you're creating. Take 5 minutes to construct your picture this paragraph. Imagine paragraph, the first I, we're going to depict a utopia, the complete opposite of what we just did in the last paragraph. So in this one, children are all liberated from imprisonment. They have the gift of sleep given back to them, the blessing of education. They gain confidence now they stop looking at unrealistic, filtered role models. They avoid the tyrannical trolls of TikTok. These are the sentence starters you can use for the imagine paragraph. Now imagine a world where, and then you put your information in that we just talked about. Visualize a world where this happened, a society where this happens. This could be a reality if we limit social media for under 18-year-olds. You're arguing your point. You're getting your audience to agree with you. And the second I stands for information. This is where you have to give credible, respectful statistics or interview findings. I believe one statistic from a study and one interview quote from a reputable source, all made up, of course, are ideal for this paragraph. So, for example, 67% of students are underachieving as a result of social media. Or in an interview with Dr. DeFriend from Harvard University, he noted, if children do not stop scrolling, social media will consume the youth in its insatiable stomach. Okay, so you're given statistics and an interview there, both from reputable sources like doctors and from universities that really give evidence for your point. The third I stands for I can't help but remember a time when. So you make up an anecdote to support your persuasive argument. Anecdote is a short story. It can be real or imagined. For example, I can't help but recall a time when my friend became very anxious and depressed and she wouldn't come out of her house because she had kept comparing herself to filtered role models on social media. For the C, at the end of Epic, you have to think, what doubts might the reader still have? And how could you rebuff them? How could you answer those doubts? You say, you may still be left with the idea that social media is an acceptable habit to nurture in children. However, it is absurd to believe this. It is frying your brain cells in an internal furnace. Something really powerful like that. Another metaphor. And then you finish with a to is to sentence. For example, to blindly scroll on is to lose yourself in the abyss. The to is to finisher is a one sentence paragraph. You fill in the blanks. For example, to watch this is to do well. I've just filled in the spaces literally. That's all I've done.